Imagine sitting in a packed stadium on a Sunday afternoon, the crowd roaring, popcorn flying, jerseys waving, and suddenly someone leans over and asks you a simple NFL trivia question. You freeze, sweat drips. The pressure feels heavier than a fourth-and goal in overtime. Because here's the twist. Your entire identity as a real fan versus a casual hangs in the balance. Fans are buzzing, friendships have crumbled, and relationships have literally ended over these kinds of questions. Shocking. Yes. But it's happening right now. Whole friend groups are calling each other out, shouting, "You didn't even know who won the first Super Bowl." Emotions are running high, egos are bruised, and the NFL community has never been this divided. Some people are accused of being fake fans, while others are fighting to prove they bleed football history. The drama is wild, imagine best. Friends not speaking, couples arguing over who was the real MVP of 1985. Even family dinners ruined because dad forgot a legendary stat. It's more than trivia, it's war. So buckle up, because today we're diving into 50 NFL trivia questions that will reveal if you're a diehard or just another casual pretending to know the game. The drama truly begins the moment the questions start flying. At first, it seems harmless enough, friends gathered in a cozy living room, chips and sodas on the table, laughter filling the air. But beneath that laughter hides tension, the kind of tension that explodes when pride and fandom collide. Jason, a self-proclaimed NFL encyclopedia, smirks as he asks the first trivia question. Who was the very first Super Bowl MVP? Everyone pauses, eyes darting nervously. Mark, his best friend, blurts out, "Joe Namath." Without hesitation. Silence follows. Jason's smile fades into a look of disgust, and then he snaps. "Namath? Are you kidding me? Do you even watch football?" Mark's face turns red, his fists clenching around his soda can. And suddenly, what began as a fun game turns into a standoff. The room erupts. Fans are shocked. The rest of the group stunned that Mark, who wears a jersey every Sunday, could miss such a fundamental piece of NFL history. Whispers circulate, maybe he's just a casual. Those words cut deeper than any insult. For Mark, being labeled a casual feels like betrayal, like years of loyalty and passion reduced to nothing. He fires back, "At least I don't Google answers before pretending to know everything." Jaws drop, the accusation hanging heavy in the air. Even Jason's younger sister, Emily, gasps. Accusations of cheating. The group's unity begins to unravel. As the trivia rolls on, the questions get harder, and so do the tempers. Who holds the record for the most rushing yards in a single season? Jason throws out. Sarah, who has always been the quiet one, timidly answers, "Adrian Peterson." Everyone turns to her, surprised. Jason's face twists again, but before he can correct her, Tom shouts, "No, it's Eric Dickerson." "How could you not know that?" Sarah's eyes well with tears. She had studied the game, watched highlights, memorized stats, and yet in this moment, she feels completely exposed. Friends begin taking sides, defending or attacking. And the once lighthearted atmosphere transforms into a battlefield of egos. But the real explosion comes when family pride enters the mix. Mark's father, a lifelong fan who taught his son everything about football, joins in through a video call. When he hears about the mistakes, he shakes his head in disappointment. "Son, I raised you better than this. You not knowing that, Bart? Star was the first Super Bowl MVP. I'm embarrassed." The sting of those words crushes Mark. His voice trembles. "Dad, it's just a game." But his father fires back. "No, it's legacy." Now the stakes are personal, and the family itself feels divided. Emily tries to calm the storm, saying softly, "Guys, it's just trivia. Can we not destroy each other over this?" But no one listens. Instead, Jason escalates. He begins accusing nearly everyone of being casuals. "Phew, Sarah, you couldn't even name the Steelers dynasty players. Phew, Tom, you forgot who holds the touchdown record. You're all pretending." The room feels poisoned with tension. The joy of football completely overshadowed by betrayal and humiliation. Then comes the most shocking twist yet. Tom, who has been unusually quiet since accusing Sarah earlier, suddenly stands up and announces, "I need to confess something." Everyone freezes. The air is thick with suspense. Tom reveals, "I've been following another team in secret." "I'm not really a Cowboys fan," gasps Echo. His family, known for generations as die-hard Dallas supporters, is stunned into silence. His younger brother yells, "What do you mean? We grew up with Cowboys posters all over the house." Tom nods, shame written across his face. "I've been rooting for the Chiefs, quietly, for years." The room explodes into chaos. Fans are shocked, friends shout over each other, and Tom's revelation feels like treason. Mark seizes the moment, turning to Jason with venom. "See? You call me a casual, but your best friend has been lying about his loyalty for years." Jason's eyes burn with rage. "You've betrayed not just me, Tom, but your own family." The weight of those words crushes Tom. Sarah, still wiping her tears, whispers, "So all those Sundays you cheered with us, it was all fake." As the argument spirals, accusations grow darker. Tom defends himself, saying, "At least I care enough to know the answers. I got more right tonight than half of you." But that only sparks more anger. Mark's father, still on the call, interrupts with a stern voice. "You dishonored tradition, Tom. Football isn't just about stats, it's about loyalty. You've broken that." The silence that follows feels heavier than any argument. Fans online watching clips from the gathering posted by Emily are outraged. Comments flood in, labeling Tom as a traitor, while others argue he's the only one being authentic. The family is torn, the friendships fractured, and the trivia game that was meant to unite them now threatens to end everything as part one comes to a close. The room sits in uneasy silence. Eyes dart around, trust shattered, loyalty questioned. Mark stares at the floor, humiliated and furious. Sarah hugs her knees, quietly sobbing. Tom stands alone, facing the wrath of family and friends. And Jason, the self-proclaimed gatekeeper of football knowledge, smolders with fury, ready to unleash even more judgment. The trivia game isn't over, and neither is the drama, because the next set of questions will only dig deeper, testing not just knowledge, but loyalty, pride, and the fragile bonds holding this group together. The silence after Tom's confession is unbearable, like the tense pause before a stadium kick that could win or lose the entire season. No one dares to breathe too loud, afraid of igniting another explosion. Then, almost on cue, Jason breaks the silence with a venomous laugh. "You think you're brave for admitting you've been a Chiefs fan? No, Tom, you're a fraud. Worse than a casual, you're a traitor." His voice cuts like glass and Tom flinches, his eyes searching desperately for anyone to defend him. But the group is divided. Some stare at him in shock, others in disappointment, and a few, like Sarah, look torn between pity and disgust. Mark, still smarting from being humiliated over his earlier mistake, seizes the chance to pile on. "You hear that, Jason? At least I didn't pretend for years. Call me a casual, but I never lied about who I support." His words drip with venom, and the rivalry between him and Jason takes center stage again. The two lock eyes, and it feels like one more wrong word could send them throwing punches. Emily, it's the only one still clinging to sanity, raises her voice. "Guys, stop, it's just trivia. It's supposed to be fun." But her plea is drowned out by the storm raging in the room. Tom clenches his fists, his voice trembling but loud. "I switched teams because I wanted to feel proud on Sundays. I was tired of heartbreak, tired of watching disappointment year after year. The Chiefs gave me hope." His words should inspire sympathy, but instead they fuel more outrage. Jason's father, who had quietly entered the room while the drama unfolded, suddenly speaks up, his voice heavy with disapproval. "Hope you think loyalty is about convenience? You don't just abandon your family's team because you're tired? That's cowardice. Tom's face burns with shame. The weight of generations of tradition sits on his shoulders, crushing. Sarah, still nursing her earlier embarrassment, unexpectedly speaks up for Tom. Maybe it's not cowardice. Maybe it's about choosing happiness. Isn't that what football is supposed to bring? Her voice shakes, but it carries enough strength to command attention. Half the room turns on her instantly. So you're siding with him now? Jason snaps. First you embarrass yourself with that Adrian Peterson answer, and now you're defending the traitor. Sarah's cheeks flush, tears threatening again. You know what, Jason? Maybe you're the problem. Maybe this obsession with who's a real fan is why everyone feels miserable right now. The words hit harder than expected. The room falls into a heavy hush. For the first time, someone has called out Jason directly, and the truth in. Her words makes even his staunchest defenders hesitate. But Jason, unwilling to lose control, doubles down. Fine. If you think I'm the problem, then let's settle it. Let's make this trivia more than a game. Let's make it a test, a battle for respect. His eyes blaze with determination as he slams a notepad on the table. 50 questions. No excuses. Whoever fails gets exposed as the casual they are. And Tom, if you lose, you admit you're nothing but a fake fan who abandoned his bloodline. The tension skyrockets. Fans online, who are now watching through Emily's live stream, flood the chat. Why? Comments? This is insane, one says. I can't believe friendships are ending over this. Another writes, this is better than reality TV. The audience grows larger, hungry for drama, and the group aware they're being watched feels the pressure even more. The first question of the battle comes, and everyone leans in. Who was the quarterback that led the Giants to victory in Super Bowl's Lee? Jason asks coldly. Mark blurts out confidently. Eli Manning. Correct? The tension eases for a brief moment, but the relief is short-lived. The next question slices through the room like a dagger. It was known as the Minister of Defense. Sarah hesitates, her lips trembling. Reggie White, she whispers. Jason's glare softens slightly. It's correct. But then comes Tom's turn. Jason smirks as he reads the next question. Which team drafted Patrick Mahomes? Everyone knows why he chose that. Tom answers without missing a beat, the Kansas City Chiefs. Jason laughs bitterly. Wrong. It was the Kansas City Chiefs who played for him. But he was drafted by them after being picked 10th overall in the 2017 NFL Draft. You didn't even mention the draft position. Pathetic. The group erupts, some arguing Tom was right, others siding with Jason's twisted logic. Tom feels the ground slip beneath him, his chest tight with humiliation. Mark jumps in, furious. You're twisting answers to make us look bad. You're not the guardian of NFL knowledge. Jason, you're just a bully. Fans online explode in agreement. The live stream chat lights up with messages. Team Mark, Jason's power tripping. This is madness. Just when it seems the group might splinter entirely, another shocking twist unfolds. Emily, the quiet peacemaker, finally loses her patience. She slams her hand on the table, startling everyone. I can't believe what I'm seeing. You're all tearing each other apart, and for what, trivia? Do you even remember why you loved football in the first place? Her voice cracks, but her anger burns bright. The room falls silent, guilt settling in. But before anyone can respond, Jason smirks again, unwilling to give up control. Fine, this is too much for you, Emily. You can leave. But the rest of us were finishing this. Emily shakes her head, tears in her eyes, and whispers, You've changed, Jason. You're not the brother I grew up with. The sting of her words rattles Jason more than he admits. Kay masks it with anger, but deep inside, doubt gnaws at him. Is he really proving loyalty or just destroying everything he loves? As the second part of this saga closes, the group stands fractured. Tom is humiliated. Sarah is torn between courage and despair. Mark is seething for revenge, and Emily feels betrayed by her own brother. The live stream audience grows restless, hungry for the next round of drama. The trivia has morphed into something far darker, a test of pride, loyalty, and relationships that may never recover. And yet, the game isn't over. More questions wait, and with them, more revelations that will shake this group to its core. The tension in the room has reached a breaking point. The silence after Emily's words hangs heavier than any fourth quarter drive. And everyone knows things will only escalate from here. Jason, feeling the sting of his sister's accusation, refuses to back down. His eyes dart across the room, locking on Mark. "Since you think I'm a bully," he says coldly, "why don't you prove you're more than a casual? Answer this. Right now, who was the head coach of the Patriots before Bill Belichick?" The room gasps. It's not an easy question, and Jason knows it. Mark swallows hard, sweat dripping down his temple. "Pete Carroll," he says at last. For a second, there's silence. Then Jason's lips curl into a bitter smile. "You got lucky." One right answer doesn't make you a real fan. But before Mark can respond, Tom explodes. "Enough, Jason. This isn't about trivia anymore. It's about control. You want everyone to bow down to you as the ultimate fan, but you've turned football into a weapon." His voice trembles with fury, but his courage is unmistakable. The group stares, stunned. Tom, the one who had been shamed and ridiculed, is finally standing up for himself. Fans watching online erupt in the comments. "Tom's finally fighting back," one writes. Another says, "This is the showdown we've been waiting for." The energy surges, fueling the drama. Jason, however, only grows more dangerous. "A weapon? No, Tom, it's a standard, and you've failed it. You betrayed your team, your family, and yourself. You think you're the hero, but you're the biggest casual in this room." Mark steps forward, his fists clenched. "Oh, Jason. The biggest casual is the one who's forgotten that football is supposed to unite us. You've turned it into a war zone." His voice shakes, but his defiance is clear. Sarah, encouraged by Mark's stand, wipes her tears and adds, "He's right. Maybe I got an answer wrong earlier, but at least I remember why I love this game. It's the passion, the community, the history. It's not tearing people down." For the first time, Jason looks rattled. Emily's earlier words, combined with Mark and Sarah's defiance, seem to chip away at his armor. But he refuses to admit defeat. Instead, he raises the stakes. "Fine. If you're all so sure I'm wrong, then let's settle this once and for all." The final 20 questions. Whoever gets the most right becomes the true fan, the leader of this group. The rest are exposed. The announcement sends shockwaves through the room. It's no longer just triviates a battle for identity, for dominance, for redemption. Tom's heart pounds in his chest. He knows this is his chance to prove himself, to silence the accusations of betrayal. Sarah steadies herself, determined not to be humiliated again. Mark burns with a desire to dethrone Jason. And Emily, though weary and heartbroken, knows she must stay and witness whatever unfolds. The first of the final questions comes like thunder. Who was the first player to rush for over 2,000 yards in a single season? Jason asks, his voice sharp. Tom answers quickly, O.J. Simpson. Correct. A small cheer rises from the group, but Jason doesn't smile. Instead, he glares at Tom as if daring him to falter next time. Then comes Sarah's turn. Which franchise has the most Super Bowl appearances? She takes a deep breath, her hands trembling, and says, "The New England Patriots." Correct again? The confidence in her voice sparks hope in the room, but Jason scowls. Unwilling to concede ground, Mark steps up for his question. Who was the youngest quarterback to start a Super Bowl? The room waits with bated breath. Mark hesitates, then answers Ben Roethlisberger. Correct? The energy surges. For the first time tonight, it feels like the group might rise against Jason's dominance. But Jason, unwilling to let the tide turn, throws the hardest question yet. Who caught the immaculate reception? He directs it at Tom, hoping to break him. Tom's heart races, memories of highlight reels flooding his mind. Franco Harris, he says at last. Correct? The room erupts in cheers. But Jason slams his fist against the table in frustration. The momentum has shifted. Tom, Sarah, and Mark are finding their rhythm, while Jason grows angrier with every correct answer. His power is slipping, and everyone can see it then. Just when it seems the group might finally triumph, a shocking twist rocks the room. Emily, who has been silent, suddenly whispers, "I have a confession too." All eyes turn to her, confusion and anticipation mixing. Her voice shakes as she says, "I've never really liked football. I only played along to stay close to you guys. I don't care about trivia. I don't care about stats. I just wanted to be part of the family." The revelation sends shockwaves through the group. Mark's mouth falls open, Sarah gasps, and even Tom looks stunned. But Jason's face contorts with fury. "You mean to tell me all these years you've pretended? You cheered with us, wore jerseys, watched games, and it was all fake?" His voice booms like thunder. Emily's single quotes eyes fill with tears. "It wasn't fake. It was love. I loved being with you, sharing something that mattered to you. But the truth is, I never cared about the game itself." The room is divided once again. Some are touched by her honesty, while others feel betrayed. Fans online explode with opinions. Emily is the realest one here. One comment reads. Another shouts, "She's worse than Tomat. Least he liked football." The group teeters on the edge of collapse. Loyalties are questioned. Bonds are strained, and the trivia game that was supposed to unite them is now tearing open wounds no one expected. As Part 3 closes, the battle remains unresolved. Tom has redeemed himself with correct answers. Sarah has regained confidence, and Mark has shown unexpected strength. But Emily's confession has shattered the fragile balance, leaving the group more fractured than ever. And Jason, consumed by rage and pride, is more dangerous than ever before. The final act looms ahead, promising an explosive conclusion where family, friendship, and loyalty will be pushed to their ultimate breaking point. The room is trembling with silence after Emily's confession, as if the walls themselves are holding their breath. Jason's face is a storm rage twisting into disbelief melting into betrayal. His voice cracks when he finally speaks. So all those years, all those Sundays, were just pretending. His words cut deep, each syllable dripping with venom. Emily's tears spill over, but her voice, though shaky, holds its ground. "I wasn't pretending to love you, Jason. Just didn't love the game." There's a difference. The group shifts uneasily, caught between sympathy and shock. Tom, who has been labeled a traitor all evening, steps forward cautiously. She's braver than any of us. She admitted what she really feels. "You should respect that." Words ignite Jason's fury. "Brave. Don't make me laugh." This family is built on football. Without it, what do we even have? His voice booms like a referee's whistle after a bad call, shaking everyone to the core. Mark, unable to hold back, fires back. Maybe that's the problem, Jason. Maybe football isn't the glue holding us together. It's the chains tearing us apart. Gasps ripple through the room. Sarah clutches her chest, whispering, "He's right." The online fans watching the live stream explode with comments. "Mark just dropped the truth bomb." One shouts, "This is pure chaos." Another writes, as the chat scrolls faster than anyone can read. But Jason, blinded by pride, won't back down. "You all think you can challenge me, expose me, call me out. Fine. Let's end this once and for all. The last question, the one that proves who's real and who's fake. He leans forward, eyes blazing. Who was the NFL commissioner during the infamous 1982 strike? The room falls silent. This isn't a casual fan's question. It's brutal, obscure, meant to destroy. Tom's face pales. Sarah looks lost. Mark bites his lip. And Emily, though she has nothing left to prove, feels her stomach twist. The tension builds until Tom suddenly whispers, "Pete Rozelle." The room erupts. Correct? Jason freezes. His plan to crush Tom has backfired. His rival, the so-called traitor, has given the right answer. Sarah claps her hands over her mouth. In shock, Mark lets out a laugh of relief. And Emily, despite her tears, smiles for the first time that night. The live stream chat explodes with victory chants for Tom, fans celebrating his redemption. But Jason's pride shatters. He stumbles back, shaking his head, muttering, "No. This isn't how it's supposed to end." His voice cracks with desperation. "I'm the one who knows it all. I'm the one who keeps the tradition alive. I can't lose." Emily steps forward, her voice soft but firm. "You didn't lose, Jason. We all did. It's game. This trivia tore us apart." Maybe the real casuals are the ones who forgot why football mattered to us in the first place. Not for the stats, not for the bragging rights, but for the moments we shared. Her words ripple through the room like a final whistle, sobering everyone. Mark lowers his head, guilt washing over him. Sarah wipes her tears, nodding slowly. Tom exhales, relief flooding his face. Even Jason, though broken by defeat, seems to falter, his anger flickering out. Yet the damage is done. Trust has been fractured, loyalties exposed, and secrets revealed. The group sits in exhausted silence, the weight of the evening pressing down on them. The live stream chat continues to roar, fans debating fiercely about who was right, who was wrong, think what it truly means to be a real fan. As the night drags on, no one celebrates victory. No one cheers. Instead, they're left with raw wounds and unanswered questions. Jason stares into space, haunted by the idea that his obsession might have destroyed everything he loved. Emily curls into a corner, drained but strangely lighter, after finally telling the truth. Mark and Sarah whisper quietly, trying to rebuild the fragile connection they nearly lost. Tom sits apart, proud of his redemption but still carrying the burden of betrayal in his family's eyes. Outside, the world moves on. Football continues, games are played, touchdowns scored, victories celebrated. But inside this living room, the legacy of Trivia Night will never fade. Fans will remember it, the live stream viewers will retell it, and the group itself will never see the game the same way again. As Part 4 closes, the story feels unfinished. The bonds are frayed but not broken, the love for the game tainted but not gone. And the question lingers, hanging in the air like a Hail Mary pass waiting to be caught. What does it truly mean to be a real fan? And so, after all the shouting, the accusations, the confessions, and the heartbreak, the night ends not with a touchdown, but with silence. The game that was meant to unite tore friends apart, shook family loyalty, and forced everyone to confront the question that lingers in every fan's heart. Are you truly dedicated, or just a casual pretending to belong? The drama of that night will live on in whispers, in live stream replays, and in the uneasy glances exchanged the next time they gather for Sunday football. But now the spotlight shifts to you. As you sit there, listening to the chaos that unfolded, ask yourself, how many of those questions would you have gotten right? Would you have stood tall under the pressure? Or would you have been exposed in front of your family and friends? It's easy to laugh at the madness, but deep down, every fan knows the pain of being doubted, the sting of being called a fake, and the pride of proving you belong. So here's your challenge. Drop your score in the comments. Were you a flawless champion, or did you stumble like Tom, Sarah, and Mark? Tell us which question broke you. And whether you think loyalty means never switching teams or being honest about where your heart lies, do you think Emily was right for admitting she never cared about the game? Or was she the biggest betrayal of all? Don't just watch, be part of the drama. Hit like if you felt the tension, subscribe if you want more stories that blur the line between passion and chaos, and ring that bell so you never miss the next showdown. Because in the end, this isn't just trivia. It's about identity, pride, and the love or the illusion of the game we call football.